Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you're new, first, welcome on in. I'm so glad that you're here, and WIP stands for Work in Progress. Chat just means we're going to be sitting down and chatting together for the next hour or so feel free to pull out a project to work alongside me, treat this like a podcast, whatever works for you. I'm just looking forward to being here with you on this Monday morning like I usually am. So if you're interested, if you just want a playlist to put on in the background to feel like you have some company while you're crafting or going about your day, I do have a WIP and Chat playlist that has, I think, a couple hundred videos on it at this point because I've been here on YouTube for just a minute or two, and you're welcome to check out that playlist. And it goes way back to 5 years ago now. So yeah, anyway, as far as what I'm going to be working on today, you may have guessed based on the storage I have set up here and the still package diamond painting, I'm going to be kitting up a new project with you today. Kitting up is just prepping my diamond painting to work on. I need to take the diamonds that are in here and put them into storage containers, which is my vastly preferred way to work on kits. I haven't opened this up, I think, since I unboxed it a few years ago, and so I don't even remember how the drills are packaged. So let's open this up and take a look. I'm hoping I can get you a better look at the artwork as well, because this is kind of a ripped image. But yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so I will link to the unboxing of this. Oh, look, this is a big one. I'll link to the unboxing of this one if you guys want to go and take a look. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually unboxed this one, so this will be fun. This is from Diamond Painting Shop, and I was actually checking out their website earlier today or last night. This kit was in their in stock and ready to ship section as opposed to just their made to order section. So I will have it linked below. I don't know how many they have in stock or how long it might last, but I know sometimes it's nice when you're ordering from a small shop to be able to get something that is going to ship right away. So yeah, that's an option. But we have, I'll get you a better look at the artwork, but you can kind of see there, we have a cave dragon. And this kit is so epic. I'm so excited. This is by the artist Jan Patrick Krasny. Let's see if there's a better look at the original artwork here. Yes. Okay. So, oh my gosh, look how epic this is. I've done a piece by this artist from Diamond Art Club before called Dragon Attack that was actually this would be a cool companion piece to this one. Really, really, really cool artwork. And I'm delighted to see that there's an option for more artwork from this artist at another shop. And maybe I'll do kind of like a little comparison of how the rendering styles and stuff compare once this one's complete. Okay, so we do have a sticker sheet. That will be really handy. This is a bigger kit. Let me roll this backwards. It is 67 by 93 centimeters. So I am taking on a bigger project. Even with drills and chills coming up, I just will be planning to have multiple whips going once September rolls around, because there's no way that I'm going to finish this before September 1st. Not at my current pace of diamond painting, not at this size point. No, it's not going to happen. I'm going to cut out these sticker labels so that it will be easier to kit these up. But this particular artwork is one that has been on my list of kits I want to work on for a couple of years now. I had every intention of working on this one in 2024 for the Year of the Dragon, and just for a combination of reasons just didn't get to it. And so this year I was just like, I really, really, really want to try to get to this one, okay? And so I decided I'm going to at least get started on it before the end of August here, before Drills and Chills kicks off, and just see how far I get. And then it can kind of be a non-event project that I can have going on at the same time as event projects. A really common thing that it seems like happens at least when I started diamond painting, and I've heard a lot of people talk about experiencing this same concept, is often people will join kind of there's a fly, gross. The flies are so bad this year. Has anyone else noticed that? I'm like a nut outside trying to, like, we have a dog and we have a little backyard, and I'm always like cleaning up out there really meticulously. I don't know what our neighbors are doing, but it just seems like there are a lot of flies this year. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, a lot of people, myself included, when we joined the diamond painting community, I don't know, I had this sense of, I really want to get involved. Oh my gosh, there are these things called events or diamond paint-alongs. How fun to work on kits alongside other people that are doing the same theme and stuff. Maybe I'll win some prizes. And then, oh, there's a little loose drill there. And then find myself getting in completely over my head. Are these roughly in order? I think kind of. Let's see. Looks like I just kind of put these back in here a little bit willy-nilly. And then get to a point where it's like, I'm just really burned out on doing all these events. Maybe I'll take a break from doing events and not necessarily do any for a little while, and then take a longer break from doing events, and then being really selective about what events that I do. And I feel like another way to handle doing diamond painting events in a way that still lets you enjoy them, but hopefully doesn't get you burned out, is to have multiple projects going at the same time. So it's like, okay, yes, I have an event kit going, but also I have some other kits going that are not event kits, and working on those is a nice little like breather, and I don't feel like I'm burned out as much. So I'm going to put these roughly in order because I just want to make sure that I didn't mix up any of these too much. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Another loose drill. We'll see what happens there with that. Okay. So Diamond Painting Shop. I worked on a kit from them a couple of years ago. I had a really good experience with working on that kit. And the only reason I haven't worked on another one from them is just because I have a couple from them in my collection. I have this one, and I have an Alphonse Mucha panel that's really, really gorgeous, but really large. And that's part of the reason I don't work on as many kits from them, is because a lot of them tend to be really on the larger side. And I'm so pickier now about what kits I'll work on that are this big. So that was a big part of it. And they also tend to have a lot of, right now it just feels like they have a lot of landscapes and a lot of AI, but then like a lot of old masters. So if any of those genres sound like something you enjoy, check them out, because I've been really happy with their quality overall, and I'm so curious to actually work on another kit from them here. There's a little gap here. 30, 31, 32. Just grab the rest of these real quick. Get it all sorted out. Because yeah, I've otherwise had a really good experience with kits from them, and I'm excited to do this one. I think it's gonna be really fun. And I also like supporting, of course, small shops in the community. You guys know this well. And sorry, I like can't. It's like we're trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. 33, and then this one was 32. Yeah, okay. That was 38. Then I need 39, 40. Bear with me. I'll be done with this in just a second. Be able to give me my full attention. Then my missing number 39. There it is. Perfect. I also thought it would be good to share from this shop, because I know that they have some kits in stock that they do have ready to ship. And right now, with a lot of companies that have paused their shipping to the US, depending on where they're located, it seems like maybe this was a good way to go. Because there are a couple other shops I did want to work on kits from that I decided to hold off on for now, specifically because like the Creativity Squirrel, I've been really, really meaning to work on a kit from them as well, and intend to absolutely get to one of those this year. But she's paused shipping to the US with things that are going on. There was some kind of residue on those bags. My hands feel kind of, I don't know what. But yes, I still want to work on that kit from the Creativity Squirrel at some point in the near future. But for now, this kit from Diamond Painting Shop will be great. I'm curious to see. I bought this kit 2022, maybe 2023. I think 2022 is probably when I bought it. So I will just be really, really, really interested to see what the quality is like. And I don't know if they've made any changes to like their manufacturers or anything since then. The Alphonse Mucha panel that I bought, I think, was last year. So yeah, we'll see. These have almost no static in them. And just from looking at them in the bag, I think these are probably acrylic rounds, which is fine with me. It really is actually fine with me. I wish I could describe exactly how it is that I feel like you can tell. When I look at these and you look at the bases of the diamonds, like when you're looking at them from the side almost, there's a certain look that they have. They're thicker at the base in terms of height, and sometimes they just have a really particular kind of cut and look to them that I'm pretty sure these are acrylic. That and the fact these are in resealable plastic bags and look like they have no static. Yeah, like I would probably put money on that these are acrylic diamonds. So diamonds, drills are usually made of either resin or acrylic, and acrylic, okay, we need a bigger container for those. Acrylic can be a little bit fussier, especially with squares, and I will typically avoid working on acrylic squares at all cost. I think that Diamond Painting Shop does resin squares. A lot of shops will do this where they'll do acrylic rounds and then resin squares. I really don't mind. I just appreciate when they're communicative about the squares in particular. Acrylic squares are more prone to trash, and sometimes we'll have like little tabs sticking off the side or have these weird like kind of divots in them. They tend to drive me crazy, but I often like working with acrylic rounds, so fingers crossed that this is a good set of diamonds to work with. And I'm wondering like what that tiny bit of residue I'm feeling on my fingers is. Anyway, I'm glad that these come with the label stickers, so I can just easily kit these up, and we'll see how much we get through in this WIP and Chat. This is like one of those times where I'm really glad that I have been in a phase of not wanting to wear artificial nails. I think it's been over a year now since I've, just from like a sensory standpoint, been able to stand having fake nails on. I used to like religiously put artificial nails on. I would get the stick-ons from Kiss Impress brand, and I really like them, but I don't know, sometimes I can just have dumb little sensitivities, a little bit of static in there, and I just go, nope, I can't stand having them on my fingers, and so I won't. But for a YouTube channel like mine where it's all about showing your hands, I wish that I were able to stand them a little bit more, because I'd like to give you guys some cute, pretty nails to look at, but oh well. Makes it easier to peel these stickers apart at least. So anyway, I am so incredibly rude and thoughtless here. I didn't even say a proper hello and ask you how you are today. So hi, how are you doing? How was your weekend? I hope your week is off to a fantastic start. It is Sunday evening over here as I am chatting with you. We are getting ready to transition to a new week, and we are officially at the tail end of summer here. I know it seems like I think that one's going to need a bigger container too. It seems like most other people have gone back to school at this point, and our district is just a little bit later on things. There's talk of moving our school calendar earlier. Apparently it came up at a recent school board meeting. I would be fine with it, honestly, but I know there's some people that are not crazy about the idea of the change in general. I think they just don't like change. But yeah, we haven't gone back to school yet, but Tuesday, so tomorrow, if you're watching this video when it goes up, tomorrow is our first day of school. My kids have very mixed feelings about it. My oldest is definitely at an age where he is loving summer break and is not excited about going back to school, mostly. Sometimes there's things he is excited about. Whereas my youngest is actually, he is excited to go back to school. I'm making a mess. Okay, there is static in here and there is trash. That's fine as long as the drills are usable and not too fussy. I'm going to grab a dryer sheet square though. I'm having trouble even picking these diamonds up like I usually do. Like just kind of stick them with your finger and they usually pick up. Oh well. Do you guys hear? Okay, this is my mom about like jumped out of her skin when she heard it when she was visiting, but the neighbor's dog, you can sometimes still hear him howling from inside their house. Like at least he's inside their home now, but I definitely wonder, I'm like, are they not home? Like what's going on? If you guys were here a few weeks back, there was a whole saga where it finally kind of decided I was going to go ahead and say something, and the neighbors basically immediately started keeping like their dog inside. We haven't heard any real howling, except occasionally we can hear the dog howling from inside their house. So I don't know. I don't know what all the details are there, but it's still just a vast improvement. And so I'm not fussing about it. Oh, sorry, Scout. Speaking of bumper dogs, I have a puppy by my feet. Scout, what are you going to do when the boys go back to school? We have a puppy that we got a few months back. Was that mid-April? I think it was mid-April. And he has just made himself perfectly at home in our family, and he's pretty well settled and stuff, but he's 6.5 months old and certainly finds little ways to get into trouble. But he's been, I think, loving having the kids around for the summer, and Connor and Micah both, especially Connor, are really great about playing with him a lot. It's very sweet. I think he'll miss them, but he's a little bit better on a leash, so hopefully we'll be able to take him to walk and pick up the kids to and from school even. But anyway, and I hope, like I said, I hope you guys are having a good start to your week, and that it's not like crazy hot where you are like it is where we are. I live in Southern California, and the beginning of summer, like June, July, tends to be pretty mild, but now we're in August and it has just been steadily getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We had our first official like triple digit day hit yesterday, and it's also been very humid, which I know a lot of you guys deal with a lot of humidity all the time. It's pretty unusual here, and so it just felt very oppressively hot, and it's just been kind of gross. But yeah, just staying in the AC as much as we can has been the name of the game. It feels weird to be thinking about drills and chills kicking off in a week, because it still is very much summer weather here, and I'm like, I can't think about it being fall. Like this is like peak heat. For where we live, and I so badly want to be in fall weather, have things cool off. So I'll be channeling that as much as I can. When I was scrolling through my Gems Flow app earlier today, trying to decide what kit I wanted to kit up for tonight's WIP and Chat, what kit I wanted to work on next, I was also just sort of mentally taking stock of what kits I have that would work for drills and chills, trying to decide, okay, what do I want to work on first for drills and chills? Because I'm such a procrastinator. I really, really do wait until the last minute to decide, because I just like to follow my nose and see what I'm in the mood for when it's go time. And like are these all gonna fit? Man, I am making such a mess with this kitting up today. I just kind of want to see like, okay, what am I going to be in the mood for at the time? There's a few that jumped out at me. A couple from small shops, several from Diamond Art Club, and I'm unsure. I might start with a Diamond Art Club kit just because I have so many that would fit, and then I can kind of mix it up between Diamond Art Club and other small shops. I am a whole disaster today. Maybe I should do this over an open dryer sheet, so then I can just pick up any that I spill and funnel it into this container more easily. It's like I'd love to start with something that is very obviously both fall and Halloween. I've occasionally had kits that like just are both of those themes really well. I don't really know that I have any this year that are perfectly like fall and Halloween, but I like to do a mix of both. It's like I want to do some that are on the Halloween side of things, some that are on the fall side of things, just get a nice mix of both. And I have a number of different options. It's just a matter of deciding, but it's been fun to watch in the Drills and Chills Facebook group as people have been sharing this, I'm kitted up, I'm so excited to start, or people posting, I've narrowed down to these different kit options, help me decide. And then the, of course, ever-present, does this qualify questions, which bless everyone's hearts, we love you dearly, but we are so happy to not be trying to answer those questions. It started last year. We were like, we're not going to try to do a does this qualify thing for a couple of different reasons. One is because sometimes it just hurts our brain to try to figure out, like, does this qualify? And sometimes it's like we would say yes to one, and then if we'd say no to another one, people would go back and be like, but you said yes to this other one, and so this one should qualify because of, it's the same idea or this thing. And I'm like, that's completely fair for you to say and think that. Like, we're just trying to make our best judgment calls. It's really, really hard sometimes with some of these kits to be like, I don't know, like, does it because of this? So it was never on purpose. We were never trying to be exclusionary. And so that was kind of our goal of scaling back and not doing a does this qualify thread, is like, truly, this is just going to hopefully let more people participate. And in the grand scheme of things, the odds of being drawn for a grand prize are low enough. It's like, just let people work on what they want to work on and don't worry about it too much. And we will do our level best to find a way to, like, if it reasonably fits the theme, then fine. Like, you'll get that grand prize or whatever. But I also, as a rule follower myself, I understand the feeling of, but I just want to know for sure. That way I know that, like, it's going to qualify or whatnot. So I also understand that, but it was really time consuming and really, it sounds so dumb to put it this way, but it was stressful because it was like, oh, people are going to be, I don't know. I really want to make sure I'm giving the best answer that I can. And also knowing that, like, if I'm not consistent in any way, like, I'm going to get called out. And, it's like, I swear I'm just trying my best here. But anyway, so no, we're not doing the does disqualify stuff, but people have asked in the group, and often people in the group will share what their opinions are if they think that it fits the theme. Sometimes I agree with what I see group members say, and sometimes I'm like, actually no, that kit would be fine, or actually no, that kit I wouldn't necessarily think is fine. But guys, don't stress about it. It's fine. We're really going to try to, if it reasonably fits the theme and you get drawn for a grand prize, which is the only thing it matters for, then we'll make it happen. Okay. So yes, Drills and Chills is starting soon. I have loved to see all the excitement surrounding it and seeing what other people are planning to work on, trying to use that to help me decide what I want to work on. Yeah, decisions. Have you guys decided if you are planning to participate? And I promise it's fine if you're not planning to participate. But I will say, I'm going to be putting out the sponsor list soon, and we'll probably share some more about what some of the prizes are going to be. We're going to have quite likely double digits worth of prizes to give away every single week, and a ton of grand prizes that we have just been ridiculously blessed with sponsors that are donating to give away for the grand prizes and the weekly prizes. So I think it'll hopefully be a good event, and there'll be a good chance that, like, you'll be able to at least win like a weekly prize or a grand prize. So I'll be sending you all the luck. I don't know where that color came from. But yeah, so Drills and Chills stuff is happening. I did finish Psyche and Eros this past week, and it was really fun to get that one done. That was one that I decided to go ahead and share the finished picture of in the VIP Facebook group, and I should do an Instagram post too, because this is one I remember when the preview came out. I saw a lot of people saying in the comments of those previews, oh, I just don't like the render of their faces, I'm not going to get it. And that is completely fair. But this thing that I notice sometimes, and no shade, like, you like what you like, and if something about a render or a color choice bothers you, then no, like, don't do it. Like, only work on what you're going to enjoy. But sometimes I'll see people say things like with Psyche and Eros, like, oh, the colors in their faces just look weird, or they just look wrong. And I just want to go, but look again at the original artwork. Look at the colors that the artist chose to use in that piece. And even like in this case, knowing the specific story behind this artwork, knowing that it's supposed to take place at night, and that's how Chrisabug chose to depict it, and to do these colors with these shades of grays and blues in their faces and whatnot. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, it does make sense. And Diamond Art Club's render and how they did the artwork, I think, matches the original really, really well. I see similar comments. It's typically either about skin tones or diagonals. When there's like, it's usually when there's a house, but the house perspective in the original artwork is at an angle. And so like the lines of the windows or the lines of the paneling on the side of the house, they go at a diagonal. They're not like perfectly horizontal or vertical, right? And so to create diagonals in pixel art, there's going to be like a little stair step sometimes to like move it over and create the effect of a diagonal. And sometimes I'll see people be like, it's not a straight line. I'm like, no, but it's not in the original artwork either. It's at an angle, and that's how they created it. And so sometimes I'll see people make corrections, or make changes, I should say, to the diamond painting form. Well, they'll like make it straight lines. So I'm like, as long, you know what, if it makes you happy, go for it. But if I guess I bring this up with the hope that if this is something that maybe bothers you, if you hadn't thought of it with the perspective that I'm suggesting, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll open more doors for you to work on artwork that you really like. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being preachy. That's also a very, very strong possibility. I apologize if that's the case. Not my intention. Just so I don't know if you thought of it. Maybe this is helpful, but I don't know. That's just my thought anyway. That's so Psyche and Eros. I didn't get any comments on the picture that I posted of people being like, it looks wrong. But I did get a few comments from people being like, oh, I didn't realize that this was a story behind that. I actually love that. And it's going on my wish list now and that sort of thing. It did sell out. So at least the colors weren't enough to stop a lot of people from buying it. I don't know. I loved it though. I really, really enjoyed working on that kit a lot. It was a lot of fun. And even though it took me longer to complete than I otherwise might have expected for a kit that size, I just kind of felt like I got to enjoy it for longer. So I'm not mad because of that. I also had a video go up today, Sunday, about diamond painting lingo, and a huge thank you to the person, you know who you are, who suggested this in a comment, I think last week's WIP and Chat. And my mom and I got to talking about it and started working on a list together. And then I chatted with a few friends about it too and came up with these, various different terms. And I then sat down once I had written all these things that we'd come up with together. And I tried to think, how can I group these, and decided to group it by okay, here's the basics for if you're just kind of interested in learning about the craft. Here's the, okay, you're getting into a little bit more. And here's the, you've sold your soul to diamond painting side of things. And I was pretty happy with how it came together. Videos like that are always kind of an exercise in stretching myself a bit, where it feels like it's outside of my usual formats, where if I'm doing an unboxing, I have a good sense for what that flow is going to look like because I've done hundreds of unboxings over the years. And so I've settled into these are the things that I'm going to look at and talk about. Here's just generally the flow of how this video is going to go. Even if it's from different companies, there tends to be a lot of similarities with, all companies are going to have drills. They're going to have maybe some kind of labeling system or coding system. If there's special drills, we're going to talk about where they go. I'm going to cover the materials. I'm going to talk about what turnaround times are, those kinds of things. But when I do a video like this one, where it's there isn't really a formula, this isn't a kind of video that I'm doing a lot of, it's it stretches my brain a little bit more. I can't go on autopilot for any of it. It's trying to look at it with fresh eyes and try to, I don't know, I have to think way more about it, which I don't know if that sounds silly or not, but it's something that it could sometimes be hard or feel intimidating, but I always am glad that I've done it. I'm okay, yes, tried something new and different. And there's usually a lot more editing time involved, like there was with this one. And overall, I think I am pretty happy with how it came together. Of course, there are things that I immediately thought that I had either forgotten or I wished I'd done differently. I frankly don't feel like I am skilled at all in terms of editing like a lot of people on YouTube are. I tend to be I feel like it's pretty basic, pretty simple stuff. And I wish I were, I don't know, more on it or more just sort of knowledgeable about being able to do lots of B-roll or lots of quick cuts and zooms and all this other stuff that tends to be more fast-paced and more engagement bait type things. But I'm also just that's okay. I'm okay with just doing the best that I can for me and trying to maybe try something new or stretch myself or do something that's a little bit different or learn something different. And then just kind of being okay with how it turns out anyway. And like I said, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I hope people find it helpful. That is one of my favorite kinds of comments to get that just makes me light up and feel yay, I did what I was really hoping to do. And that's when I get comments this was so helpful to me, or, oh my gosh, this makes sense now, or those kinds of things. Like, that's one of the main reason that I wanted to make a YouTube channel was like, I just want to, that sounds cheesy, I just want to help people. I just wanted to make it easier for people to enjoy diamond painting. And so from like the teaching side of things, and then from like the WIP and Chat side of things, like, I just want you guys to feel a little bit less alone and feel like, I don't know, you have someone that is keeping you company and maybe understands some of what you go through, that sort of thing. So yeah, it was fun to do something that was a little bit different. And thank you again to the person that gave that suggestion. It was really fun to run with that. And I'm always open to more suggestions like that. If you guys have certain videos you want to see, I have a little bit of a list of ideas that I've been given over the years. Things like how I store like my leftover drills, or going in depth and doing like a tutorial on, Pattern Keeper and Markup RXP, things like that. But I tend to, when I feel like the inspiration strike and feel like what's the word I'm looking for? When I feel like I'm seeing the video idea kind of develop, like I'm seeing how it would go, how it would play out, how I would do it, then I tend to run with those kinds of topics. Because like my brain is there. But yeah, so if you have any other kinds of videos or things that you want to see from me, feel free to share suggestions below. Yeah, but if not, you're just here to hang out and chill and watch. That's also amazing. So thank you either way. This past week, my mom and I got to do a lot of diamond painting together. We both finished projects. She started and finished a project while she was here, that Munimade kit. She finished on like her second to last day here. She blew through that kit. It's really, really pretty. I'll try to tell her to post a picture of the finished kit somewhere. Maybe in like the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group, in case you guys want to see it and want to be enabled, really. But yeah, it turned out really, really beautifully. And I finished Eros and Psyche on her last day here, and then took a couple of days to work on some other things, just like house projects and putting together like my D-stash and stuff like that. So this is the first time I'll have really like pulled out a diamond painting in a couple of days anyway, which is totally fine. I feel like my shoulder is thanking me for taking breaks still, and like the slower pace of diamond painting I think has been just good for my shoulder healing up even more. I also just wanted to mention, sorry, I'm backtracking just a tiny bit, but when I was mentioning feedback, it's funny, I've gotten comments on both ends of the spectrum about this, and I always think this is really interesting, but I will sometimes get comments from people that say that they feel like I'm talking too fast, and occasionally I'll get comments. It's usually more talking about my pacing, like they think I've taken too long to get to the point of a video. But occasionally we'll get comments about people feeling like I'm moving too slow. And I had a realization around a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, where I thought, you know what? Well, it was more than that, because I've been trying to be more deliberate about my talking speed the past few weeks and trying to be more aware so that I'm not talking as fast. But when I'm listening to audiobooks or listening to YouTube videos, I'm virtually always listening to them at a higher speed than whatever the standard is. Depending on the narrator, depending on the YouTube channel, I'll often be listening to them as fast as 2 times, like double speed. And I think that may have over time really kind of rubbed off on me and made me think that was just sort of the standard talking speed for videos. And I think I had gotten to a place where I was really talking very quickly all of the time. So I've been trying to be much more aware of that the past few weeks at least. But I did get a comment from someone on a recent video that was like, "You talk too fast." I was like, dang it. Try to slow down a little bit. But I think your mileage may vary. If you guys didn't know though, if you do feel like I'm still talking too fast, totally fair. You can also set a playback speed on a video to be slower, not just faster. So you could slow down the speed so that my talking speed is a little bit slower, but even still, I'm trying to find a good, happy medium. But okay, other things I was going to chat about. I started to mention my shoulder, but I have been going to physical therapy. I've had 3 appointments now. This last one was with a different therapist. And that was interesting. She tried some new kinds of exercises and kind of added some more to the rotation. So I have like 6 or 7 at this point. I don't always get through all of them in a day, but I'm trying to be a good patient. I would really like to heal up as much as possible. What is that little bit of trashy stuff in there? Let's just put that one away. Maybe we won't use that container. And I do feel like I am noticing a difference, though I still can't really lay on that side for very long, but it's not like pain as soon as I lay on that side. So that's an improvement. If you're new and you're not sure what I'm talking about, sorry. I went to a diamond painting retreat at the very end of May, that went into the beginning of June. And between it not being the most ergonomic setup with the chair and the table height and the angle and stuff, between that and the fact that I was diamond painting a truly ridiculous amount of time. Like, there were a couple of days there where I think I diamond painted like 9 or 10 hours in a day. Like, it was a lot. That was literally the point of the retreat, was just diamond paint and friend time. So, yeah, it was a lot. And I strained something in my right shoulder. In June, I was having a lot more pain and realized it took me a few weeks to kind of connect the dots. And it was my mom who finally made the connection for me, that she's like, I think that maybe it was the retreat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think you're right. So, I tried just sort of resting it, on my own and seeing if maybe just giving it a break would help. It didn't totally heal it up. So I saw my doctor. She referred me out for physical therapy, and the physical therapist diagnosed me with an impingement, a shoulder impingement, which can include things like bursitis and other kinds of just general shoulder strains and injuries. So I've had 3 weeks of physical therapy now. I think insurance approved me for 7 sessions, and I think it's one of those things that once we get to the end, that the therapist could potentially like put in to get more authorized, but we'll see. It's 1 a week for the moment. And yeah, like I said, I'm definitely noticing an improvement, but it's not like 100% better. But yeah, this is a reminder to do a posture check, take a stretch break. That's something I've been really intentional about, is like, I don't spend as much time sitting and diamond painting without standing up to take a break. I'm trying to be way more aware of that, and hopefully taking a bit better care of my body that way. But yeah, who knew that sitting and diamond painting for 9 or 10 hours could give you a serious muscle strain? 5 years of diamond painting, and that had never happened before. And there were times early on when I had started diamond painting that I was diamond painting a lot of hours a day, like a lot. And so it was, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older too. Who knows? But anyway, while my mom was here, we got to do a lot of fun things, like obviously diamond painting together. We took care of a lot of projects around the house, which was really nice. Got some work done in the backyard. I went on some big like cleaning sprees of a few areas, and there's just something about having her here. Her brain, I feel like, works really similarly to mine in terms of what she notices with kind of, cleaning and organizing things. And she was a huge help with the kids and just like emotional support. It was really great to have her here because life has just kind of been lifing. And so I think Adam and I and the kids all just really, really enjoy having her visit. She went back on Friday, and we took care of some back to school shopping while she was here. So the kids are all set with school supplies, new shoes, all that good stuff. And she and I just did our usual. We went and got brunch and pedicures. We have a pedicure place that we really love that we've been going to for a couple of years now. And it feels like it's one of those things like, if you find an honest mechanic that does good work, they're worth their weight in gold, and you go to them forever, that kind of thing. It feels a little bit like that for me with getting a pedicure done, because I had the worst luck for a while where I would keep going to places for pedicures, and I'd feel like I don't know. They would get a little aggressive with the nail clippers or with like the scrubbing my feet or something. And I'd just always be wondering, like, is it going to hurt? And this place, I've never had that. They always do such a wonderful job. It feels actually relaxing as opposed to other places I've been where I felt like I'm tense. I'm like, this is not the point of a pedicure. You're supposed to feel relaxed. So we have this little spot that we like to go to. And so we got to do that and went shopping together. I found, it was so funny. We went into a Hot Topic because I was on the hunt for one of the Hot Topic exclusive Diamond Art Club kits that is a stitch kit. And so I haven't been into a Hot Topic in years and years and years. So it was just funny. My mom and I walking into a Hot Topic and just feeling, I don't know, like that's a place I felt very comfortable in the past, but it's been so long. And I'm like, I'm a middle-aged mom now. You know, I'm 30, how old am I? 36, walking into a Hot Topic with my mom and just thinking, are we going to feel really out of place? No, they're always the nicest. They're the nicest there. We found what we were looking for. And they had the stitch kits. They also have a strawberry shortcake Hot Topic exclusive kit, which I was like a little bit, I need a bigger container. I was a little bit too old or too young for strawberry shortcake. It was like a few years before me, but if you're a strawberry shortcake fan, there's a Diamond Art Club Hot Topic exclusive kit. The stitch kit's really cute. We picked that up and then did some other shopping while we were there. We just had a good time. We had a really good time. It was also really great to have her here because Adam went out of town at the very last minute. I think I mentioned this last week. Yeah, I did. We were able to use some stocked up airline miles, like points, for him to be able to fly back to see his grandpa, which he was really, really glad he was able to do. I guess he had a really nice visit, and his grandfather was really, and his grandma were really happy that he was able to go back. So being able to make that happen, and then just having a little bit of extra support here for, well, you know, with the kids and stuff while he was gone for several days was really helpful too. So it all worked out pretty well. And yeah, it was a good visit. So next visit will be in October. My dad will come out with her this time. They'll get to be here for when we go trick-or-treating with the kids and all kinds of fun stuff. So fingers crossed it's not going to be 1,000,000 degrees when they come to visit, because summer in California, I feel like sometimes our hottest weather, we'll have triple-digit weeks through October, like through the end of October. I know because my birthday's at the beginning of November, and I'm always like, please let this be a break from the heat for my birthday. And some years I'm lucky and it is, and other years it's like, nope, have some 90-degree weather at the very beginning of November. I don't like the heat. Can you tell? Part of it is I just am not physically comfortable. I don't sleep as well at night. I've noticed I've had much worse sleep as the weather has gotten hotter, which really sucks. And then I also deal with migraines, and when it's really hot, I know that I need to drink a lot more water, but like my headaches and migraines are worse in the summer with the heat. And so I've noticed those ramping up a bit. So I'm just trying to drink all my water, avoid my triggers, do everything that I can. And yeah, but I every single year without fail, you're going to hear me fuss about the heat. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want fall weather. But otherwise, you know, we are enjoying this end of summer, trying to have some like special moments and things to kind of celebrate summer with the kiddos. Having my mom here was a big part of it. And then today I ended up taking the boys to go and see the K-pop Demon Hunters sing-along, which was in, I think, just Regal theaters mostly, like Regal and Cinemark, for this weekend only. And I debated whether or not to take them. Connor has been to some movies in the theater before. Micah never has. And I just thought, Adam and I talked about it. I think this is the one to try it with, because we know he is really into this movie right now. The kids are both really into this music. Plus, knowing that it is a sing-along, that kind of sets the expectation for what the atmosphere and the vibe for the theater is going to be. Like, if you show up to go to a sing-along, you know that there are probably going to be small children there. There's going to be moving, dancing, singing, that kind of thing. It's not going to be like, okay, everyone has to be really quiet kind of situation, right? So with Micah especially, it was like, he's not going to be a kid who's just going to go and sit still and be really quiet. So I think this is the one to try. So we ended up, just for sake of cost, just I took them and Adam hung back here, and I thought it'll be fine. Like I can handle the two of them just fine. And it was a really fun time. It was really fun. Micah liked it a lot, though in the middle of the movie where there's kind of a break, there's not really a lot of music happening, and it's more just like, you know, the plot and whatever. He did get kind of restless, but absolutely bless the heart of the person that was sitting on the other side of Micah, because I sat in the middle and had the kids on either side of me. They're in a little bit of a squabbly face. That was really the way it had to be. But Micah he does a lot of sensory seeking, lots of moving around, like, you know, messing with his chair, kind of being noisy and stuff. There are a couple of times where I apologized to her, like, oh, I'm sorry, it's the first movie. But she was there with her young kids, and she's like, no, he's completely fine. She was so relaxed and kind about it that I was like, okay, I don't have to feel on edge or worry that she's going to be, you know, upset or she's going to be bothered that this kid that's sitting right next to her is a little bit all over the place sometimes. No, like we had a great time, and the kids sang along. It was really fun. I sang along a little bit too, I'm not going to lie. Like, we're still not tired of this movie or this music. Like, we listened to the soundtrack in the car on the way to the movie theater, and when we got in the car to drive home, they requested that we put it on for the drive home too. So it's, you know, they know what they like, and the songs are bangers. What can I say? We had a great time. It was also fun. We went out to dinner for my mom's birthday the day before she left. It was her birthday, and so she wanted to go to a BJ's restaurant and brew house and brewery. And so we went there. We hadn't taken the kids, especially Micah, like out for a meal in a while. I guess we went at the beginning of summer with Adam's parents for maybe Father's Day. But anyway, I wasn't sure how it would go, but they did amazingly. And I just thought, this is wonderful. Like, they're at an age where so much of the stuff really is a lot easier. Like, they've got just some maturity. They're able to, you know, handle more of this kind of thing. But while we were at BJ's, Golden came on over like the music amongst all the other random pop music they were playing. Like, Golden came on as a song, and the kids were just delighted. And I thought, oh yeah, I guess some of these songs are charting on like the actual Billboard Top 100 and are making it onto the radio. It's kind of wild, but my kids love it, and I'm not mad about it either. So it was great. It's, you know, it's been a pretty good weekend in a lot of ways. So what else has been going on? Let me take a quick peek at my little notes over here, because I am so forgetful. This week, like I said, their first day of school is coming up, and tomorrow we have a chance to do a meet and greet with Micah's teacher, which it looks like he's going to have a new long-term sub. The normal classroom teacher is on maternity leave, and she started like at the end of last year and is going to be gone, I'm guessing, just a few weeks here at the beginning of this year. But this is a different long-term sub than they had at the end of last year and for summer school. So I kind of want to go in and meet this long-term sub before the first day, and Micah can meet her. And I think it'll just feel a little bit more comfortable, so that it's not just a brand new face that Micah's going with that first day. And I'd be curious to see, like, are any of the aides from last year going to be back? Let me see. I'm checking for... I need a bigger case. I think that we'll probably go to that, and then we'll find out who Connor's teacher is, like 12 hours before like school starts. They do it like the night before, so we'll get to find that out tomorrow night, and I'll be texting some friends to be like, okay, who does your kid's teacher have? Are they going to be in the same class again this year? So just really hoping that his teacher for this year is as good with him, that he clicks as well with as last year's teacher. Oh my gosh, was absolutely amazing with him. I feel like we hit the jackpot, and I just hope that he has another great year. I really do. So yeah, a pup date on Scout. I talked about him a little bit earlier, but he's been doing pretty well. We've had some continued like great success with having him in his kennel during the daytime when we've had to go out for bits of time. He doesn't really fuss about it at all anymore, and he doesn't seem to be like crying or whining at all. He just goes in and he just goes right to sleep. So that's really helpful. My mom was working a little bit with him on trying to teach him sit more reliably, and he's kind of getting there actually, which is really cute. And he's still been kind of chewy though, so I keep trying to find different things to redirect the chewing to, because I don't remember. I don't think this one's really staticky. What's going on? If you breathe into the bag, like introduce a little bit of moisture, that can usually help. I'll tuck a little dryer sheet in this one though. I don't think I mentioned this last week, but I was looking for something like on the floor of our bedroom the other day, and looked over and noticed he had chewed a hole in the carpet, like about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bigger. And he didn't like chew all the way through to the pad, but he like chewed, like pulled the fibers out. And I was just like, oh my gosh, the carpet is not, like, honestly, I kind of want to rip it out and replace it anyway, but still, I don't need him chewing holes in the carpet. So he's got some different things that he will chew on and can be kind of like responsible dog about, but yeah, I'm not excited about the chewing the hole in the carpet situation. Like, are you kidding me? I have absolutely no idea how we'd go about replacing it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm hoping this is something he will outgrow and we can keep finding things to redirect him to, but I don't know, puppy phases, I feel like. I have some of that bitter apple spray that I've had some mixed luck with on some other spots that he's, wanted to look like he wants to chew at. So I keep spraying like any spots in the carpet that I see that looks like he's going for. I should have dumped this straight into the dryer sheet because these crystals are super staticky. Okay, let's do that for the rest of this. This is my hack for if you really, it's not my hack, I got it from Lena from Library of Diamonds, but if you have really staticky diamonds, pour them into a giant open dryer sheet like this and then kind of sift them around a little bit and then pour them straight from here into the container. It really dispels a lot of that like initial static. You might still end up wanting to put a dryer sheet in there anyway to give it some extra oomph, but for the most part, I don't end up needing it if I do that, which is really handy. But this is kitted up really fast because I feel like those drills are mostly acrylic, if not all acrylic. I'll be interested to see what they're like to work with on the canvas. I'll keep you posted, of course. I always do. So yeah, anyway, what I've been reading and watching and listening to. Not anything still exciting to report on the reading front, unfortunately. I'll get there someday. I'll be back to it. I'll replace this one this week with talking about gaming. I have been continuing to play Mass Effect 3 and really enjoying it a lot. Of the Mass Effect games, of the like original trilogy, I replayed 2 the most. 3, I think I replayed I played it once and then replayed it a second time, like another time. I don't even know if I got all the way to the end that time. So a lot of Mass Effect 3 has felt more fresh to me because I just don't remember as much about it. So that's been fun. I've been taking my time with it though. And didn't play a ton, I feel like, when my mom was in town. I tend to only play after the kids go to bed anyway, but I was kind of dividing my time between, recording videos, actually diamond painting, and trying to get other stuff done. Like there was one night that I just sat down and for a few hours was just working on setting up spreadsheets and making sure I had all our contact, like sending out emails and stuff related to Drills and Chills sponsors, because I'm trying to stay really as on it and on top of it as I can for everyone's sake. And my goal is to, here by the end of the day, get a sponsor list posted in the event Facebook group and stuff, because a lot of the sponsors are offering things like discount codes and lots of good stuff like that. So I want to try to get that shared. How much is in here? I think I need a bigger container. Am I going to run out of space? I think I'm going to have exactly enough space to fit all these colors in this tray without having any overflow. That would be delightful if that were the case. And then watching, and listening to, it's really for both. It's a lot of K-pop demon hunters, but I will elaborate on some other things too. Watching wise, I have been enjoying a lot of BookTube recently. A lot of times it's just enjoying kind of watching videos unpacking various like book talk or BookTube author drama. I know it's not always the best, but there's a slightly newer channel. Is it Book Lover Laura? I think is her name. Her channel, I really enjoy her takes on things, especially because there's something recently that came up that some people were asking her to do a video on, and she said, I'm not going to do one on this particular topic because I don't feel like there's a way I can do it that isn't going to come off as like exploitative. And I have a lot of respect for her because of that. Like, she was like, no, I know that it would get a lot of views, but I don't want to be taking advantage of victims. And I think that there are people that can cover this in a way that avoids doing that, but I'm just not confident enough in my ability to do so. And I'm like, that is very mature and good to recognize. So I feel like she does some pretty measured coverage of other things that I do appreciate. But and then I've been continuing to branch out my musical tastes a little bit with Spotify. I tend to open it up and just click over to the pop playlist because, yes, I'm a pop girly, whatever. It's fine. And Gracie Abrams has been one that I've been really enjoying a lot of this week and kind of listening to more of her stuff. So that's one of I know she's been around for a bit, but a little bit, I don't know, newer to me. And of course, I'll be listening to Taylor Swift's album when it comes out, but we got a little time on that one. And I'm not going to be one of those obnoxious Swifties, I swear. I'm going to try, but I do really love her music. You guys know. But as far as what I have coming out for videos this upcoming week, I think that my Diamond Art Club sneak peek for this week should be here on time, as long as UPS doesn't get silly. And I think I'm going to do a post review maybe on Eros and Psyche. And I have some other kits I could do unboxings of. My little kind of stash of kits I haven't unboxed on my channel yet. So stay tuned for those. I don't think I'm going to have anything super out of the box and different like my diamond painting lingo video. But if you haven't watched that one, I would absolutely love if you wanted to go and take a look at that one. And if you have any feedback to share, any other video ideas for things you want to see me talk about, whether it's like a how-to or tutorial or something like that, I'm always, like I said, open to those. But I also feel like I'm really overdue for a small shop haul. I still have some packages that I have been holding on to for months and haven't unboxed yet. But anything that I share, I want to make sure at this point is from a shop that is able to ship to the US. I know a ton of them, if they're located outside the US, have put a pause on shipping to the US. It sucks. It really sucks. We're not going to get into all of that mess, but I'm trying to be intentional about what shops and whatnot that I feature, just that it's not like, oh, hey, I'm featuring the shop that you also cannot go and order from right now because they're not shipping to the US. But fingers crossed, maybe something will change for the better. But that is it, you guys. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, why don't we there's like at least one, there's a diamond emoji, or there are other jewel emojis, something along those lines in honor of this artwork, this dragon sitting on its hoard, some kind of jewel or treasure of a sort. And let me know how you're doing in the comments. I always enjoy reading those and hearing from you. And I hope you're doing well, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I invite you to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more diamond painting videos from me. I do weekly WIP and Chats like this one, or occasional kit up and chats. That was fun to actually get through this whole kit up. We got everything ready to go here. I'll keep you posted on how this kit goes. But yes, I do weekly WIP and Chats, unboxings, reviews from a variety of different companies, and other diamond painting related videos. So yeah, you guys take care, and I hope you have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.